Rex. Hey, friends.
Got him.
All right. How y'all doing?
Yeah. All right, we're good. All right, now I can see your pretty face.
Listen, because y'all outside, y'all know better than to have that melanin popping. Because y'all right, y'all got that sun, and then y'all got the background.
Mm.
Oh, he hasn't seen the background.
All right, this is the background.
Ooh, ooh. Wait, who was that? Are they taking rides? Where? Ooh, hold up, hold up. All them boat shores. Wait, hey.
That's the back of our house.
Oh, you listen. You left and you went on a whole tour. I thought I was still spun around and just still sitting. Oh, it's so nice to have you on again, sister. And mama, it's
I
so good to have you on for
know.
the first time.
Mother daughter
Ooh.
duo.
Yes, the first, the
The
first, the
first.
first. Wait, are y'all the first mama daughter duo coaching wise
In
anywhere?
college? I think
Yeah,
so. I don't know.
If not, we should be.
Right.
you should be.
If
I know
I
y'all
if
think
probably the
we
first
if
black
not, then no
mama
one has
daughter.
talked about it.
Yeah,
So we're just gonna claim it as the
right.
first.
Well, we're gonna talk about it now. Let's get into it, then.
I think it's probably the first African American mother and daughter thing.
That is for
and
sure.
that we will gladly claim. We're gonna claim that for the culture. Yes, and speak. And so, how's season going? How Mari? How is FIU from Florida Memorial? It's been a minute. So much has transpired. Like,
I know, right?
catch me up. Just catch me up.
Well, I love being back in the blue and gold. You know, I started the program with my mom 10 years ago.
We
It's
were
the
so
grace.
young then.
It's the grace for me, y'all. It's the grace.
It's the fact that you got them peeking.
And I got them all over
She
now.
just like she
I just
embraced
gave
it.
up. I'm like,
She
okay,
That's
she
okay.
embraced it.
Let your experience show, Mama.
right here.
Let them know you've been through some things. Don't let them play you,
Right?
because they will try to
I'm
play you. Don't let them play
experienced.
you. Yes, the 10 years, and Mama, you've been there the whole time.
Yep,
The whole time.
The
yep,
whole time. And she just moved over to beach only because she was beach and indoor.
yeah.
She's one of the only coaches in the country doing both beach and indoor.
Yeah. And how has that been? How's
It
your
was
time
long. It was
management
long.
now? Your me
I
time.
love doing. Yeah, I'm just gonna say no comment, and I love doing just one sport
Yes. Yes.
and with my daughter. It's just the icing on the cake.
That's Look at y'all. I'm so
We're
happy because
happy.
what is there not to be happy about? Like this is
Exactly.
I've never seen it and it's
Exactly.
surely not talked about. So this is
Mhm.
like a first like
I
for me.
know. And
I'm
it's
just
so
so
funny
happy.
too, because like a lot of people, like, when they're like, oh, you guys coach together. I mean, now for the most part, everyone's kind of used to it,
Mhm.
but when we first were coaching together, everyone's like, oh my gosh, how is it? I can't coach with my mom. And I'm like, I mean, we work really good together, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know your experience. I just know my experience. We feed so well off of
Yeah.
each other.
Yeah. It's fun.
So how does what role wise like how what are the boundaries between you between because obviously y'all are close, we mama and daughter now, so some of the lines could get blurred because we got family ties and the emotion is there. So how, because both of you are accomplished, both of you did your thing separately, so how do you put two worlds of greatness in the same orbit and allow them to coexist in harmony?
Let me answer it first. For
Like
me,
that.
Yes.
you like that?
Next question.
Oh dear. Well, I don't really see any boundaries. I think we know each other so well
Hmm.
that if if there is a decision to be made, we usually make it together.
Okay.
If I'm not around or something like that, she will call me, or she's not going to do something without confirming it with me.
Yeah.
Because that's just the way you do things.
That's
And
just respect. Yeah.
yeah,
Hmm.
and basically I don't think I really do anything without talking to her about it either,
Hmm.
and confirming that, like I run that by her, and she may say, well, maybe you do this instead, or that sounds like a really good plan, or yeah, let's go. And we kind of work that way together.
Hmm.
Ooh.
Exactly.
Okay.
And as far as like separating the coach side and family, like
Yeah.
when, because my mom coached me too, like
Hmm.
through club years and then a little bit of my collegiate career too. She coached me in my freshman year at FSU, but she was always really good about like once the tournament's over and we get in the car, then it's over.
Okay.
Like I'm not talking to you about this. You're not talking to me about it. Like if we want to talk
Okay.
about it later, we can talk about it later. But once it's over, that's it. So then we just wouldn't. So
Ooh.
like from a young age, like that separation was natural. So then as I started getting older and we started coaching together because I've been coaching with my mom since I was 17 years old. Through club and then high school and then now in college. It that transition didn't really make a huge jump. Because that was already something that we were used to
Hmm.
from me playing and her coaching me.
Oh, so it was like you was grandfathered into it. It wasn't nothing new. Like
This is our structure.
Yes,
This is our
right.
process.
You just look, just brush it off. The same
and
same thing as last time. Same thing as last time. Let's just make it happen.
the
Make it
one
happen.
the,
Ain't nothing
but the
new
one
over here.
thing the one thing that I think is, that you at least as far as we're concerned, that is always going to be there,
Hmm.
is she looks out for me and I look out for her.
Hmm.
Mm.
I mean, as a head coach, having that person that has your back no matter what, you don't have to like look behind and say, okay, are they trying to get my job, or what's
Hmm.
going on? I have no fear of that. I can just be who I am,
Hmm.
and that of course has to do with family. And
Yeah.
at the same point, the same thing, I'm going to protect her through anything. That's she doesn't have to worry, oh, I'm going to lose my job, coach is mad at me, or something like that, because it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen.
Is that something that you have run into, that both of you have run into, like somebody like I got a feeling like somebody's watching me, just like with somebody eyeing your job and like having to worry
Oh
about that?
yeah, that's
That's
just a natural thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
is
I feel like all like head coaches go through it, or even I mean even assistants a little bit. You go through that. Like when I first left FIU, I was like, oh wow, so many people wanted my job. That's crazy.
Wait for real.
I was like, I just
Wait.
want everyone to know that that was mine. Like,
And looking, as much as you put into that program, sis,
yeah,
they can have it if they want to. I think we talked about that. Like, look, you can have it if you
exactly. I'm
want
like, that's
to.
my blood, sweat, and tears.
Hmm.
So how? Okay, so here's a question I thought of. So Mama, you've raised, obviously you raised your baby girl through volleyball, coaching, her as a player, as a coach, as a mentor. How has your coaching evolved? And I ask you this question because the very first episode I did was with Coach White from Alabama State and Coach Powell from Alabama A&M, and I was talking to them about coaching this generation of athletes, right? How it's much different than when we were kids. And it was like, coach tell you to do something, you just do it. Like it's easy peasy. But now these kids, they gotta, why am I doing this? Where, how, what's the end goal? Like there's just so many questions. So how have you, someone that's been so accomplished, how have you evolved over the years to keep up with the generations of athletes?
Yeah, I mean, every year it changes. Every year is different, and if you get stale, if you get bored, that's when you kind of lose grip of what is evolving.
Hmm.
I think you have to read the room, kind of understand what type of athlete you have brought into your program,
Hmm.
and do they fit with you, or did you just bring them because they're a good player?
Hmm.
That I think that's the really big important thing is they have to have some type of connection with you mentally, and understand you a little bit, because we definitely have to change our coaching styles every single year, and even as far as our anxiety level, like, just don't have an anxiety. Just be you every day. Just go to the practice and just say, "Here's today. Let's have fun."
Okay. So
you
just roll with
know,
the punches. Just take it
just
as it
roll.
comes.
You just got to roll with the punches and read the room every day.
Hmm.
Every day?
Every
Every
day.
day,
Yes,
every day,
every day.
every day.
Every day. It's a new day.
Hmm.
And I think that's a good thing,
Hmm.
and that's where Mari is really good for me, because she is young and she understands that mindset better than I do.
Hmm.
Mm.
So she's kind of that bridge between, my age and someone that's like 50, 40 years younger than me. It's a big, I know I don't look it. Maybe the gray hair kind of gives it away a little bit, but I think it's really important to have that bridge that can kind of guide you and keep you closer to that style of
Hmm.
athlete.
Exactly.
Listen, because these little kids nowadays and these fresh adults, um, oh, well, they out here.
Yeah,
They out
and
here.
like even
Like
from
they.
that perspective, like the way like you explain things, like everything has,
Yeah.
just like you said, everything has to have a purpose. So
Mhm.
we find ourselves, once we're explaining something, we're already giving them all the information that could be asked.
Yeah.
And even if we do give all that information, there still might be some questions, So it's still like, okay, let's slow it down, make sure we're listening, check
Yeah.
the box, check off
Mhm.
this list,
Yeah.
this, and it's a good thing too, because then if they get comfortable asking those questions, and they're going to be comfortable in their skin and with
Yeah.
what we're asking them to do. They're going to have a better understanding. There's going to be a faster buy-in, because we're allowing them that space to be themselves, like she said,
Yeah.
and to be in the moment and to just be. And to just be is asking those questions so they can fully understand what it is you're asking.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that.
you just can't be wound up as a coach. You just gotta be a butterfly, and
Mm.
and just chill. I
You
because that's
should.
what
You just gotta
I
chill.
just gotta chill. I mean, there's gonna be some times where you gotta like put your
Yeah.
hand down, but that has to be far and few between.
Hmm.
That
Okay.
that can't be an everyday thing. Getting upset because they don't understand something, or
Hmm.
how do it's like, because then it's just a dog that barks all the time,
Twix.
like
Oh.
this one.
Look, our
And
special guest.
you don't listen. So it has to be something really strong that gets you to raise your voice, and let them know that you're not happy with them. Otherwise, you gotta laugh and have fun. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just so different nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta you gotta be happy in your job.
That's
Mm-hmm.
and it's interest. Well, I wouldn't say it's, oh, I guess it would be interesting how because we all have, well, y'all have coached the babies and then the middle schoolers and the high schoolers,
Mm-hmm.
and the fact that you are now on the collegiate level, and some of these players are coming from other places, other countries, and they are accomplished on their own right. So the fact that you are still having people be them in your space or in their space, making it inclusive, is still important. I mean, because we talk about representation, we talk about, and it's not just for Black folk. I mean, it's representation across the board, and but also like you got other people. Do you have any people that are from any athletes that are from other countries? Do
Oh,
you,
Florida
I'm just,
International University, baby.
I was like, I'm assuming so, but I want to assume.
Dude, we have a girl that's Greek German. We
Okay.
have a Brazilian, Italians,
Okay.
Guatemalans, Dutch, Poland, Ecuador, Canada, uh,
Carmen San Diego.
uh, Dominican Republic. Yeah.
Okay.
And, then you have the Americans from the Midwest and from Florida, so
Texas,
Texas. Yeah.
New Orleans.
New Orleans,
So how do you make it a point
everywhere.
to mesh all of those together into a functioning product? Because the last episode we talked about, Brighton and we spoke about how volleyball differs in just like even volleyball cultures within like Brazil and Japan and in Poland and these different cultures. So how do you put all of those cultures, still be respectful to the athletes, but still like we're on an agenda, this is what we have to do, like how?
I think a big thing of that is still going, like having that flexibility and flow structure. Like we have our box, I guess you can say that. Okay, this is our box that we operate in.
Hmm.
However you operate, you can do it as long as you're in this box. And our box for our kids is pretty big. Like it's
Okay.
pretty big, So they have the room to wiggle in with like certain things. Like of course, like our system is our system. Like this is our
Yeah.
system that we do here. And I think as an athlete across the board, you can understand when you go into a team that you need to go by this team system regardless of where you go. So, like
Okay.
when I went overseas to play professionally, I had to play under their structure, and then same with her when she went to go play in Japan and Switzerland and Italy, and like you go into that structure. And I mean, with her it's a little different because she was the coach and the player, so it was her structure. So it's a
She
little.
was double dipping.
She's different. She different.
I had control.
Look, get you one that can do it.
Exactly. But like you fit in with your structure, and then on top of that is transparency and recruiting, right? If you're transparent in your recruiting and you're authentic and you're yourself and not trying to basically put on the show for the recruiting, then the recruit and the athlete is going to always know what they're going to get with you when they come in. Because you were your authentic self when you were talking to them to bring them into your world and into your family, and that's something that they wanted and they accepted. So I think that's a big thing that's important when you're putting all the pieces together, and especially with so many different types of people.
That's a thank you for that, because that was for my curiosity. Uh, because as you know, like I have my little volleyball club that started with Sunrise, and so far every single one of the kids are a person of color, whether they be black or they're
That's awesome.
Colombian or they're Brazilian or they're something. But to have the gym at one time and have like 30 to 40 kids who are all kids of color who are looking at you like, oh my gosh, like
Yeah, an anomaly.
right, like there are us out here, we can do it. Like it's just providing that representation, and I don't want to say that I struggle with it, but there be certain things that, because it's new to me, so there be certain things that pop up and I'm like, ooh, normally if this was an adult, I might like, might have to text somebody, but because this is a child, like, let
Yes,
me
they're
let me cool
kids.
down a little bit. Let me sit out somewhere, just walk out and come back in. So thank you for that. That's
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's mostly like cooking, right? Like you got to add a
Yeah.
little of this, you got to take a little bit out, you got to,
hmm
everything has to exist in harmony.
Exactly. And like to build onto that analogy, when you have a team, everyone has a different language, right? So you might have a team language and a team speech, like this is how the recipe is supposed to come up with, but you're going to attack it differently than someone else. Like someone else might make that same dish completely different, with different ingredients, but it still comes out kind of similar. So like each player that you have on your team, you have to talk to them differently, you know but then together as a group, this is how we speak together as a group. So you have to be really flexible as that coach to be able to slip in and out and be able to give that athlete what they need to be able to communicate with them and have them understand you so that they can be able to hear the group message. Does that kind of make sense?
No, it does. It comes across as, like Coach White said, if you're customer service oriented, like if you really care, if you really are here for for the greater good of the people, you're going
Exactly.
to take the time. Um, at the end of the day, anything worth having in life, you're going to have to work at, whether that be work on your patience, whether that be work on your creativity, whatever the case may be, you're going to have to work at it. So there is no cheat code to get around it.
Yeah.
There is no fast track, no intensive course. You have to work through the weird. Like
Yep.
you gotta figure it out if you want to be successful. Now, if you don't want to be successful, you can do whatever you want to do.
Yep. Do whatever you want. See how it pays off.
Right.
See how that works in your favor.
That's right.
So we ain't even go grace on that. But and that's what I have to tell my kids too. I'm real with them. I'm like, look, I've been giving them instructions, and then you see the little eyes like dilate, and they're like, I don't know if I can. So I'm like, do you think you're going to be good at something? Like, do you think you're going to be a master at passing? This is your first day, and they're like, no. I'm like, okay, so accept it, make the mistakes, right?
Exactly.
Like, just make the mistakes. This is your space. This is your house, right?
Perspective.
Yeah, just do your thing, like, because I know. Listen, if you don't get it, you're not gonna get it. If I'm on top of you and I'm like, do this, you're just not gonna want to be there. And this generation, low key, is a little lazy. So, so physically, they don't like to really do work. So, you really gotta proceed with caution with these ones.
Yeah.
Do y'all think
and it's
so?
not even like a caution, it's more like a
respect, I think.
Yeah.
I think this age group they want to be respected just like you want to be respected. They want to, they don't consider themselves equal to a head coach or the assistant coach, but they consider themselves equal as a human being.
Yes.
And in the past, coaches were always up here, and then they made their players be down here, And I always remember I didn't like that feeling either, and I'm a baby boomer. So it was allowed then. It's not allowed. It's not tolerated now. And I think it's a good thing. I commend those kids for demanding respect.
Yeah. And I think I brought this up the last time I was on here, when I was at Florida Memorial and I had my first initial meeting with the kids. Like they had been through 4 different coaches, 4 different ADs, 4 different presidents, so they were kind of like, anyone new that came in, they were like, no.
Yeah, like,
Yeah, like, wait, stop. So, like, when I first met them, I asked them what their expectations were of me. And they were like, we just want to be able to ask questions.
Mm.
And I was like, okay. And they're like, and just please don't be crazy. I was like, well, and that I can't promise. I can't promise.
Fine, crazy.
Exactly. Like, where's the crazy spectrum to you?
Your last name is Crockett.
But I was just like, wow, so those are your expectations. We're setting the bar really low. So that's all you want from me?
That's the
and they're like, we just want to be able to ask questions. And I'm like, okay, that's fair. And if that's what they need, then who am I to be like, no. Mm-hmm. It does nothing for me to give them something that they asked for, that they need to be successful. Mm-hmm. And I think that's really what this generation really wants. They just want to be able to have the tools, the resources necessary for them to get to where they're going. You know what I mean? They just don't want to be told do this. They want to be shown how to accomplish it. Does that make sense?
No, it does. I just coaching questions now. I'm like, what do you think? Like,
yeah,
I've shown you how to pass. I've shown
exactly.
you
how do you feel? How do you feel doing this? How does it feel this?
Mm-hmm. Like, why do you think that ball flew to the right? Like, I was facing that way. I was standing straight. Okay, so and I know I need to face forward and I need to get low and my base needs to be wide. Okay, cool. So now it's just reps. Now you just need to get not just reps, but quality reps.
Yeah.
And then like that helps you out because you're like, okay, well, I can be the solution.
You're like, oh, now I can just sit down.
Right. Listen, but and I can enjoy what I do because my pressure isn't getting high for these kids that ain't mine. And I already got enough going on. Look, I love y'all kids, and some of y'all parents need to be a little more active with y'all kids' lives, but that's another story for another day. But I love these kids. I love them like they're my brothers and sisters, but
you're not gonna get my blood pressure up.
I don't want to start taking Lipitor. I don't want any of that. I don't just let me be. So the more that they can come up with, the more of a solution that they can come up with, and they feel like they're in control.
Yeah.
To me, that's better because. Listen, like there's gonna be times, and you know this too. We're gonna be stuck in a rotation, babe, and y'all are gonna have to figure it out. As much as I would love to sub in and just like get that 1 point and get out, I can't. You have to figure it out. But it's much like life. Like you can't just. Oh well, I don't understand this. I can't deal with it. No, you gonna have to figure it out. Like,
you got to figure it out.
Life will figure you out, baby. You might not like it.
Real quick.
But snatch you right on up.
Yep.
Real quick. Life will be like, oh, here, solve this problem.
Okay. And the problem is the apple from the Garden of Eden. Aren't you hungry? Go ahead and have a bite, babe. I love these kids so
that's
much.
what's like real. That's what I mean. Like even take it from the NILs, right? The name, image, and likeness. Like the NCAA has literally given the kids. They're like, here you go. Make money. Figure out how to build a business off of yourself. And some of these kids, man, they're making bank. They're making bank. They're figuring it out for themselves. So these kids that are coming in now are entrepreneurs. Like they're full-on businessmen and women coming in as like freshmen and sophomores. So
high school to entrepreneurs.
So the kids that we're talking to now, they're thinking like so many steps ahead, and really it becomes about keeping everything in perspective and keeping them in the now instead of like looking so far ahead in the future, you know?
Do you think, this just popped in my head, do you think that we will start to get more
Oh,
athletes?
you're good. You're good. Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say LeBron, but I was like, I
Gotta
don't
get the
really feel like
dunk.
that's fair to just like throw LeBron's name out there. But do you feel like we're gonna get more of like this could be the age of the athlete essentially because the athlete has so much power in their own destiny. Before it was like you just go to school, you play for your school, then you go play pro, and or you go do your own things. But now the kids are like, look, if you don't want to do right, I will hit that transfer
Mm-hmm.
portal.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't want to do right, that's okay. I'm still making money, so I got options. So how have you ran into any of that at FIU? Like not necessarily on a negative standpoint, but
Yeah,
just
not our sport, but
Not our team, but yeah, it has happened
yeah,
to teams. I mean,
they hit the transfer portal.
yeah, the only way, the thing that only protects now the school that receives the transfer is that they can't transfer again. And
okay.
if they do transfer again, then they can't play.
Mm-hmm.
You want to continue?
Oh yeah, that's an important call. She's got to take a call, y'all.
Do your thing.
But
Hi.
Stop.
Look, our confessional is turned into a confessional, friends.
But no, like she was saying, so the new rule with that is once you transfer, you can't transfer again. And that school that accepts the transfer, like if that kid's not happy and wants to transfer, you have to pay for them the rest of their time, whether they're a good fit for your program or not. Like they're yours once you take that transfer. So there's so many moving parts right now, like with the NILs and with the transfer portal, and there's new legislations coming out and stuff like that. So it's really hard to kind of see where the future is going to be. It really depends on these student athletes and what they do with the opportunity that they're given now. And then when they become coaches and administrators, I think that's where we're really going to see a shift, is what happens when this generation becomes pros and becomes coaches and becomes administrators. And then we're going to really see the effects of the new stuff, because right now we're all just kind of navigating, through it. For example, like we're trying to get together as much information as we can for our players and our team on NIL so they can really take advantage of the opportunity. I know some of them have done little things in there, but I don't think they really know how to really fully access it. So it's our job to make sure that they have all the resources and the information. So that's kind of what we're going through now, and we're coaches. So we're coaches, but at the same time, we're also in education, and our job is to educate, so we're trying to build these athletes into young people for their next stage of their life. Because once they graduate, then they're in life, and it's our job to make sure that they're prepared for it and not just win the games. Of course, the winning is nice.
Listen, we love
the winning is nice
now. Like,
I like the rings. I like the rings.
Right, we love the hardware.
I love the hardware and the trophies.
The thing, the plaques.
And the shiny stuff. And
the stuff that said we were there.
The pictures of the taking, yes. The pictures of the taking.
The confetti. The ticket sales. We love it all. That's what we're here for.
That's just icing.
On the ticket sales? Look, she said, I want all the encore stuff. Everything else is just bells and whistles at that point. We just living it up at that point. I don't want to be greedy, but I'm not going to toss it.
But I mean,
if it's free,
if it's out there, I mean, if it's just there, I mean, why not?
Why would I? Like, that's wasteful. Like, I don't.
Exactly. I'm not a waster. I don't waste.
I'm not.
Well, that's just rude. It's just rude. It's rude to be so wasteful.
There are people in other places that just
that just don't have what. So it's just disrespectful to be wasteful.
It's giving very ungrateful for
Thank
me.
you. It's giving very ungrateful, and I am not an ungrateful person.
I'm
So,
not either.
no.
Mm-mm. I take
Mm-mm.
my I go like Donald Lawrence said, go get your inheritance. Anybody
Exactly.
gonna go get it out there? I am.
I am
And
right
for
here.
anybody that doesn't know that, that's a gospel song by Donald. It's called "The Blessings of Abraham." I listened to that the other day. Almost had my whole spirit resurrect out of my
Because you
body,
just felt
child.
all the blessings. You're like, yes, I'm going to receive all of my blessings.
Listen,
Well, who
he
am
said,
I to reject the blessings that are bestowed upon me?
listen,
That
I can't
is the
control what happens to
disrespect.
me, but
It's
I
the
can control how
disrespect.
I respond.
Exactly.
So if the
Mm.
universe wants to give
Mm.
me all of these things, who am I to say no?
Who are you? Who are
Come
you,
on.
sir?
Because I worked hard to get here. I
The
don't know about everybody else.
disrespect.
Hmm. Because some people wish they could, but to that I say try.
It's the tea.
It is the tea. It's the
It's the tea.
wild juicy orange or whatever it's
It's the
called.
tea. But yeah, so that's what we're running into now, and our team, like in the midst of all this, like we joke about the winning, but our team is really great this year. Like
Mm.
it's up to us to lose, basically.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
like we're so confident with our team and this group that we have. Like, I mean, they're just amazing. They really are. Like, they're very disciplined. Well, even getting better at being disciplined, but they really are very disciplined. They listen very well. Even though we tell them we're like, you need to listen, but they do listen really well. They're very hardworking girls, like extremely hardworking young women, and they're talented. They're super talented. Their IQ is there. The team work, the team like camaraderie is there. Like everything is just falling into place. And you can see them getting their confidence too with every practice. Like Rita was saying the other day, Mom.
Mom.
But Rita was saying the other day, we had media day and we didn't practice. She's like, I'm not even stressed that we didn't practice.
Mm.
I mean, that's how confident we are with this group. It's just like, yeah, take your rest, and let's hit it. Let's hit it working the next day, and let's get moving, and everyone is just on the same page. And I think they can feel it too. Like they're really like, we can do this. And on top of that, conference championships is on our home soil.
Ooh.
And it's going to be in Fort Lauderdale.
Oh, I'm gonna be there. What day?
So
What time?
it is April 27th through the 29th.
Okay, boom.
On Fort Lauderdale Beach, you know where it's at, y'all. Y'all
Down
see
there
the
by the Yankee
court.
Clipper, down there by B Hotel. Okay,
Right
down by
over
the
there.
Marriott on
Right off of there. Right over there. Right in that little cove.
Right.
It's going to be
Right
Conference
there.
USA.
Right where they be doing all the USA volleyball events. They
That
be doing
part.
all the youth stuff. They be doing all the
Right
they be doing everything.
there.
So there's
April
no reason for
27th
all
through the
those.
29th. No, there is no reason. If you aren't doing anything and you don't have to work April 27th through the 29th, then come see FIU and represent your home teams.
Period. And even if you got to work, leave early.
Exactly.
You don't have PTO. I don't think your job really cares about you if you don't have PTO.
Oh, no. Be fine.
Listen, I've been there. I've been there. So I'm gonna talk my stuff because I've been there. And to brothers and sisters who are listening, good luck with that. Hope you get out of that. Because 2023 is all for me. If you ain't treating me right, if I don't see the need to. It's not mathing for me.
Her. Period.
So here, this is a question that I wanted to ask you. I wanted to ask you and your mom, but I can ask her when she gets back.
Yep.
So obviously 'tis Black History Month. 'Tis the shortest month of the year. It is what it is. Your mama was.
Okay, I'm black every day. I have the shortest month, but I'm black every day. That's fine. That's fine. I celebrate me every day.
Every day. Every day.
Every day.
Okay.
It's cool to be black now. I be seeing Target got Black History Month stuff. I'm like, now we got a Black History Month section. When did it become cool? It became cool. We trending. Okay, y'all, we trending. Melanated is trending. Let's
Well,
go.
we gotta be trending because everybody's stealing everything from us. So
Yeah.
we better be at least
But I will
trending.
commend Target. They're doing all black-owned companies for this little section that they got. I was like, okay.
Who?
Target. They got a little section in Target,
I
and
don't like the way you said that. They got a little section.
it's little, but it's a corner. It's a whole corner,
Not a corner of the store.
a whole little, with the clothes.
Like a little kiosk. They got a little kiosk.
It's bigger than a kiosk. It has 2 racks and a wall.
Is it the size of a fitting room or smaller than a fitting room?
Depends what fitting room.
Okay. Okay, it's not okay. They got it though. Okay,
all their clothes and all their clothes are by black-owned artists and fashion designers.
Oh.
And they even have their little pictures on the clothing, like their brand and stuff. I was like, all right. Okay, Target.
I wish they would leave that section up past February 28th and every 4 years, February 29th. But,
right. Hey, I take it. I'll take it where I can get it. That's cute.
I guess.
I said, Tasha,
that's nice.
I said, Tasha, you like any of this? Left out of there $50 poor.
But you know what? It's going towards somebody. Somebody
Exactly.
else's, so.
Exactly.
Well, at least
so that's why I was okay. And my little mulatto baby gets to wear it. So.
Yes, fashion. But what I was gonna ask you was, so it's what is it? Black History Month. But I wanted to ask y'all because your mama, they FIU. Now, did you do that or did somebody else do that?
What?
Highlight your mama.
Oh, back in a few months ago?
For today or Instagram.
Oh, I don't know who did it, but it was a little club. They did it, and we reposted it.
Oh, I thought you posted it like.
Yeah, it was so cute. I was like, oh wow. Yeah, so then we reposted it.
Okay.
But yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, no, we haven't done anything yet. But our media department has been like shooting a lot of different content, like of her and of me and stuff. So I don't know what they're doing with it, but they said they're doing something with it. Like they were in here filming a team bonding event that we had this weekend, and they were filming all of her trophies and pictures and stuff. And so
all up in her house.
Oh yeah, they were all up in it with all the cameras and the pictures.
I hope their energy is right to be up in there.
I know, so they'll be doing something.
Up in that woman's house, just leaving demons in her corners.
Not the demons, the sage out.
Okay, talk about like The Conjuring. You go in your room and somebody just sitting on top of the bed. I'd be like, oh, absolutely not, babe. Just lock, close. Absolutely not. Take the house. I'm gone. So, what I wanted to ask you is, what are your thoughts on Black History Month?
What you mean? What my thoughts?
What do you think about Black History Month?
What do I think about my history?
Well, not necessarily what do you think about your history. What do you think about?
I think it's important. It's so important.
It is, But well, there's no but. There is no but. It
But why is
is.
it the shortest month?
In addition to, but why do we need? Is it your mama coming back? I see her. I saw a
She going
shadow.
inside for a little bit.
Oh, okay, okay. It's hot outside.
She's chasing Twix away. He's barking.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, but like, what are your thoughts on Black History Month? The reason why I asked is last night I was either on Instagram or TikTok, one of the two. At this point, they're pretty much the same because the videos be the same on all of the
Mm-hmm.
things. Um, but Morgan Freeman, it was an episode or an interview that he did like years ago, however long ago, and white guy was asking him, like Black History Month, how do you feel about it? And he was like, I don't like it.
Mm.
And I was like, okay, hold up, now, hold up, Morgan, what?
Energy support.
Right. I'm like, hold up, how long is this? And it had got like this far into the video. I said, okay, it's like at least 58 seconds left. Let me see what Morgan got to say.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that he doesn't like it because it's just American history.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't like the fact of that as a society, as a U.S. American population, we really only focus on Black history when it is February. And even still, it's more so for the likes, it's more for the posts, it's more so for we're going to slap something on, a design on a shirt, we're going to sell it. We see it all the time, people coming out with little special things at restaurants and things like that. So I get like, what is your?
I mean, I definitely see where he's coming from, but also I do think it's important that like our history is celebrated and highlighted, and it really gives people opportunities to post gems like my mom, for example, because we're in a sport that, I mean, in the States doesn't really get celebrated that much, So, I mean, really, if it wasn't for Black History Month, not a lot of people would know that she's one of the first African Americans to be on the national team, or the first African American woman to win a world championship beach volleyball series, or the only national coach of the year in Division I volleyball and beach volleyball ever. So like Black History Month gives us the opportunity to highlight those stories of people who aren't in like basketball or like big sports or big anything that's really in the media, and that's always trending in the media, because volleyball is not always trending in the media. Beach volleyball is just now kind of getting trending in the media. You know what I mean? So Black History Month gives us that time to celebrate those people and give them their flowers. I do see where he's coming from, and it is just history. But it is different because there's still people today that they're the first to go to college. They're the first to do this. They're the first to do that. I mean, just between the two of us alone, like, she has like 80,000 firsts as an African American woman. Oh, okay, 85. Sorry. Me building the first HBCU with a beach volleyball program and winning a conference championship. That's a first, and that just happened in 2021. So that doesn't just become history anymore. It's part of our culture, because that isn't something that's normal in our culture. Fisk gymnastics, having the first gymnastics squad and then HBCU, and then making it all the way, they made it into the Sweet 16, I think, and beyond, and they killed it. If that's just history, then they're going to be compared to the UCLAs, and their story isn't going to be as important. And I think that's something that would be a great disservice to people who look like you and I and my mom, because now we aren't getting represented because we're just like everyone else, and there's things that just need to be celebrated. And that's
what do you think
Black History Month is for.
to get, what do you think we need to do for us to have equal representation? Like just in everything. I mean, let's just go
Like,
just
that's a
within
loaded
volleyball.
question, sir.
It is. I'm like, that's. I was like, oh wait, let's back up a little bit. Back up. Um,
Like, let me get
explain,
the
please.
list.
We'll say just in volleyball because what I see, just last night I was telling them what the purpose of crossing courts was, and again, I you can see when people who look like you, when you say something that resonates, and it's just the simple
hmm
been there, done that. I know what you're talking about.
hmm
As to where when I am telling people about crossing courts and they are not a person of color, more often than I would like it to happen, it almost it comes across as I am taking away an opportunity for a person that's for a white athlete, and that's not
hmm
the case at all.
Yeah,
However, I am going to be unapologetic about my advocacy or my
exactly.
desire to have people of color in the sport,
Yeah,
not just indoor, but I want to go to the beach and see all the black folk playing volleyball. I want to
exactly.
see high level volleyball. Like I want little black kids to come up to the volleyball court and be like, "Oh my gosh, like who is this? He doesn't look like everybody else."
hmm
So, what do you think we need to do, just as the black body? What do we need to do to push ourselves more out there and just to tell our own stories? I guess.
Right. It's more exposure, right? Like doing stuff like this, or like doing the clinics, like how I did the HBCU beach clinic, to get that exposure and give kids the opportunity to show them that there's different avenues. Like it's really all about the exposure. The more exposure that you give, especially when the kids are young,
Mm-hmm.
the more it's not going to be this unreachable goal for them. Like, oh, people don't look like me. This is not my space. Let me stay over here because this is my space. Like there's not a this is your space, this is our space anymore. And the more we start to break that barrier down by showing up, by doing stuff like this and speaking to little boys and little girls that look like us, that there's a space for them in wherever they want to be, then they're going to attack it. Like there's a lot more black and brown kids going into tech and IT, and coding and stuff. I think it's amazing. There's a lot more Parks and Recs community stuff that are building more what's it called, non-traditional sports.
Okay.
So instead of like the basketballs and the footballs, like some of them are doing fencing, some are doing tennis. Yeah, like they're doing untraditional, well, I guess they call it untraditional. It's not, those are not my words. That's what they call it. Non-traditional sports, so that it gives the black and brown community more exposure to those different types of sports. And even that there's one in at Bunch Park. They do upstairs. I think they do a coding class or something like that. Something with robotics.
Okay.
Something with robotics upstairs in their right in their gym. And that's right in the heart of Miami Gardens. So stuff like that. The more that we expose our young to the possibilities that they have, then the more they're going to reach out and take it.
Mm.
They're not going to feel awkward for being in the space that they think is not theirs.
Yeah. And Mama, well, first off, welcome back. I hope ain't
Thank you.
nobody
Sorry.
bothering you and causing you stress on this peaceful Tuesday, Taco Tuesday afternoon.
Yes, Taco Tuesday.
Well, my question to you, my love, was how has your journey been being one of the first Black women in in volleyball at a professional level at such a high level?
Mm-hmm.
How has your journey been navigating through being a pioneer in this space?
Um, I think my way, just my way as a person,
Hmm.
is I just do, and I didn't have like predetermined reasons for doing the things I do,
Okay.
and it just ends up that the things that I did have helped a lot of people, a lot of black and brown people,
Hmm.
uh, to for me to pave the way for them,
Yeah.
and it wasn't something that I did intentionally. I just did it because I did it, and I think that to me is more rewarding than doing it because I have an ulterior motive.
Yes.
So, things come to people. I was very poor, very, very poor in my family. And things just came to me. And I guess God put me here to do certain things and to help certain people without telling me this is how you have to, what you're here for to do this. It's just, I'm just doing it. So I guess I'm answering probably a little different than you would have imagined that I'd answer, but that's kind of how I've gone through my whole life.
No, and look, you answered the way I would have liked you to answer, which is from the heart. I don't want some manufactured foolishness. I want the tea, sis.
Yeah. She'll tell me, she's like, you know more about me than I know about me.
And usually it's the other way around. Isn't the Baba usually like, I know more about you than you know about yourself? So don't. Look, you know
Yeah.
us.
Mm-hmm.
We need to come out with like a series. That could be our thing. We could do like blackisms, and we just
That would totally be a series.
things that our mamas and daddies and aunties and uncles have been doing all our lives. It'd be like the little memes where they be
I know.
writing out just the letters, and it'd be one long acronym. Be like, if you black, you know exactly what this means. And it'd be like 13 letters. This is why I love us so much. I love my people
Yo,
so
those
much.
things have me rolling. Those things have
Oh,
me rolling. Oh my gosh.
wait, you a little far away. You sound far.
Huh?
You sound far.
Because I had to take the mic off. No
Oh,
more mic.
okay. That's okay. No more mic. So they don't work? I was going to get some, but I'm not getting
No,
them.
no, they work great, but I had to put the charger on. So it was either
Oh,
phone die or mic.
okay. Okay, that's
We had to
fair.
make a choice.
Don't let the phone die. Didn't my phone die the first time we had a...
Yes, it did. We know it was your Wi-Fi. It was your
Oh, it
Wi-Fi.
was my Wi-Fi.
Yeah, there was
Just
something going on with your
gone.
Wi-Fi.
Trifling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so um, wait, when does season start? Y'all not in like when is your first game? I guess is my question because I'm trying to come to the home games. Is your schedule out?
Yeah, it's on the website now. But our first away, we go away. We go to Tallahassee to FSU. So we
Okay,
play the 25th and 26th of February. But
okay,
our first home game is March 2nd at
okay.
4 p.m. And we play Texas A&M Corpus Christi at home on campus.
Y'all ready to drag them?
We are.
No.
Yes. That's a yes.
Yes. Y'all ready to drag them? We
Yes.
are.
We are. I mean, we are ready.
Yes.
I mean, it is time.
It. Hmm.
Mm.
Hands can be ran at any time, baby. You just show
Go
up.
Beach
You
Girl. Mm.
listen, because I'm ready to show up. Because I know how you, Mari. I know how you were on that court when I was at FMU.
Yeah.
I still got that chair too. I,
It's my chair.
and I still got that chair. They're comfortable. They'll be like, what school is that? I'll be like, where's that? I've never heard of that. I'm like, I'm sure you have it, girl. But I'm going to educate you. Child, okay, so what we doing for the rest of the day? What y'all got going on?
Just a little bit of office work, you know, planning practice, stuff like that. A little bit of budgeting, you know, chill day.
Nitty gritty. The paperwork, darling. It's all paperwork.
Fine.
Yes. Well, I want to obviously I want to come to as many games as possible. Now that you know, I finally we're gonna take it back to last year, but I left. I finally signed the official copy of the Great Resignation of America. I finally signed it, so it's just me, myself, and I.
Doing the grind work.
That's it, and I love it. I love it. It's so satisfying.
Right?
It is so satisfying getting
Get
up.
off the treadmills, you can do what you want to do.
Yes.
That you love. It looks like we have a meeting coming up.
Oh no, you good. That's why I was trying to wrap it up. I was like, I feel like it's time.
That was perfect. She was like, we have a meeting. Yeah, I was like,
no, it's fine. No, I gotta.
I was trying not to, but my phone, my watch buzzed me, and I'm like, huh? Oh. Ooh.
She said, "Okay, I gotta go. Bye."
I'm trying not to be too pushy. Is that for preseason polls? No, I think it's the preseason meeting to just go over this stuff. Yeah, so you'll be able to listen to it. It's a Zoom.
Okay.
Let's see where we get ranked.
Yes, let me know. I want to know. I will know. I'm gonna see it on Instagram.
You definitely will see it on Instagram for sure.
Okay, y'all. It was a pleasure having you.
Definitely.
Such a pleasure.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, I cannot wait to see you soon, Marri and Mama. I can't wait to meet you in person.
You gotta come to our games.
Absolutely. Yeah, March 2nd.
Yes. And then we're at South Beach March 16th and 17th. No. 17th and 18th. With actually, it's a really interesting thing. It's a big one. On South Beach that weekend, 17th and 18th. AVP. Yes. It's gonna be Volleyball. It's us with 10 teams, including TCU, USC, FAU, UNF, Jacksonville, the works. And then there's the AVP, and then there's Model Beach. Yes. In the same weekend. Yes. So Model Beach. Oh,
it's volleyball weekend.
Thursday. Apparently it's beach volleyball weekend. Yeah. On 9th and 10th Street is Model Beach on that Thursday, and then we're at Loomis Park the Friday and Saturday. And AVP is on the 9th Street on Saturday and Sunday. Volleyball weekend. Big weekend. Be there or be square. Show out.
Look, I ain't gonna be square, that's for sure.
Show out. This is when you get to see real good beach volleyball across the way, from college all the way up to the pros. Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna be busy. I'm gonna be taking all the pictures and videos. I'm gonna be busy. I'm glad y'all let me know that. I forgot.
Fun weekend.
All right, friends. Well, y'all enjoy y'all meeting. Best of luck, and I will see y'all soon.
Thank you.
You're welcome, my love. See y'all soon. See y'all later.
Bye, Mo.
Bye-bye.